Hey everyone, Michael Hirsch here from Break a Pencil Consulting. How are you? Hey, when I was a product manager, when I was a product leader, my days were crazy busy. And I imagine if you're a product manager watching this, hopefully you can relate. I imagine you probably can. Uh, Meetings, Slack posts, chats, emails, somebody stops by your desk, you get a phone call, a company-wide update happens, like just constant barrage of things at a pace that's faster than you're able to get work done. And so at some point, hopefully, you get some quiet time and you want to sort of do this next bit of thought work that you need to do, but you've got pieces all over the place. And it's frustrating sometimes because you've got good information in different places, but how do you pull it all together? And it takes a long time to actually synthesize it and synthesize it properly. Fortunately, AI is really good at that. So what I'm going to demo for you today is actually how I use AI for my own business, right? And as my own business, it's me trying to sell my consulting and my AI education and training services. But I want you to get a sense of how I bring all sorts of different things together using AI. So let me give you an example. I sent a proposal out to a client, a first version, no pricing, just kind of a general overview. So I'm going to just go ahead and drop that first version of the proposal in. If you want to see, and I've redacted all the company information, but, it's just kind of a 4-page, like, here's some options of how we can work together. And then I'm going to drop in meeting notes because I had 2 subsequent calls with this client talking about the proposal, right? And in one of the calls, they wanted to expand it to another team. So now instead of working with 1 team, I'd be working with 2. And, great feedback. And I didn't want to miss any of it. So where'd these meeting notes come from? These came from, I use Granola. So any of these AI transcription tools will give you a summary and meeting notes. And so I grabbed those, right? One of the calls, though, actually, I scribbled down some notes on a piece of paper. So I'm going to make sure that those get included as well. So let me just start with a prompt here, and let's kind of see how we go. I need your help drafting an email and updating a proposal for a potential client. Attached, you can find the current version of my proposal, the first version that I sent to the client, along with notes from 2 calls I had with the client after sending that first proposal, discussing in more specifics the kind of support and services they're interested in. During one of those calls, I also made a note in handwriting, so I'll just read it to you now, that says, be sure to include references and testimonials, take a second look at the price, and confirm that there's no customization required for that second cohort. So I need your help to draft an email that I can use to attach with a version 2 of the proposal. I need your help with some suggestions of how to update that proposal. And I also stumbled across a really interesting research report about the state of product management in 2025, which I've also attached. And I'd like to include 1 or 2 references from that research report to support the work that I'm proposing. So I've got this research report that Product Plan put out, the state of product management. So I'm going to just drop that in as well. Yeah. Okay. So let me just quickly recap, right? My original proposal, notes from 2 meetings discussing it, dictated notes from my chicken scratch from a meeting, and a research report that I want to make sure gets incorporated. So let's let it go. And what you'll find is that, I could sit and try and map these things out and put them out on the desk and make sure I've got everything and, check boxes to make sure I didn't miss anything. But But AI is really, really good at that and at connecting dots in between pieces, and doing it very, very quickly. Great. So, updated proposal incorporates our conversations, including 2 cohorts, the streamlined approach, a reduced post-course support. They had pushed back saying they wanted to not spend as much money, a focus on some practical applications. And then here, this is great. The timing couldn't be better. According to the recently released report, 92% of organizations are now somewhere in their AI adoption journey, but many are moving away from AI for AI's sake toward finding genuine business value. This aligns perfectly with your measured approach to AI integration. So not only, so I bring in sort of a third-party endorsement of the work they want to try and do. Updated proposal includes client references and testimonials as requested, and I've confirmed the same curriculum will work effectively for both teams with minimal customization, which is exactly what my notes had said. So then it's giving me some suggestions here for these updates and for the proposal. And so really, if we kind of map this back to the 6 personas of product leadership, this is kind of the same thing as the Strategic Orchestra Conductor. As a product manager, you're constantly trying to make sense of the business and product strategy and connect that to the work that your product managers are doing. So you're always looking to connect dots. And, you may get an email from your boss. You may read a research report that's interesting. You may have a call with a stakeholder or with a customer, and all of that may have some good information for you to help your team even better understand the strategy they're building towards. And you want to share that with all of them, but you can't really share it kind of haphazardly. You want to share it in a succinct, summarized way. So next time you want to do that, just ask AI. Dump all the stuff in, right? Just dump it all in. Your notes, the email, the call transcript, whatever. And ask it to make sense of this whole thing and to help you with a cohesive and effective output. If you're interested in getting AI tips and tricks like this every week, please subscribe down below. Thanks for listening, and I hope you all have a great week ahead. And as always, break a pencil.